Hello, I'm Orlando Hillard, and my presentation is on interpersonal communication. I'm a student at Liberty University. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. I've been married for 11 years. I'm active duty military, and I've completed my bachelor's degree in psychology at Huntsville, Alabama, at Oakwood College. And I have a master's in administration of justice and security from the University of Phoenix. I'm currently working on my second master's in human services at Liberty University. My favorite hobby is doing auto mechanic work. Outlining this presentation, I will start with what is interpersonal communication skills, go through the list, and end with my action plans, with my discussions of what I would take in order to make my personal communication goals a reality. Interpersonal communication. It is the communication design, or it happens when people involve talk and listening in ways that maximize the presence of the personal. Features involved the presence of the personal are ways people communicate to emphasize their uniqueness, responsiveness, reflective, and addressability. Interpersonal communication continued. Presence of the personal are defined by uniqueness, measurable, responsiveness, reflective, addressability. No one is cloned. We're all different. We all have our own emotions and feelings. We all have the freedom and power to respond. We all are aware of our surroundings, talking and taking advice from others. Overreaching master goal. Listening as a way to acknowledge someone often increases self-esteem. It is a way of saying to the talker, you are important and I am not judging you. My overreaching goal is to improve my communication skills by talking less, but listening more, and staying focused and giving clarity and not passing judgment. Enlarging the conversation. Enlarging the conversation is maximizing the moment to gain more important information from others without allowing any physical barriers, external or internal distractions, interfere with learning something new at all times. Behavior blend. The 4 discs represents the personality types, which is active task-oriented, active people-oriented, passive task-oriented, passive people-oriented. Behavior blend, the DISC model described would be the D. For me, I'm the D and the I, which is dominating, directing, determined, decisive. The I is, for me, inspiring, influencing, impressing, and I'm very interested in people. Others of the DISC are the S and C, which is passive people-oriented, steady, stable, shy, or the passive task-oriented, cautious, competent, calculating, and the others as follow. Personal behavior blend. My personal behavior blend is I'm the task-oriented guy with the active people-oriented. I love the freedom of just being actively engaged in whatever I'm doing, and I think I attribute that mostly to the military. I'm always taking the opportunity to advance, and I enjoy being people are important to me, so I think that's one of the reasons I joined the military, is because I enjoy being around so many different types of people. And however, I don't like to relax too often, and I love to find ways to inspire others, and I enjoy having friends and doing things in groups. But my positive influences on the behavioral blends are active, outgoing, creative, busybody, always busy about doing something, and determined to complete my goal. Negative, however, demanding, impatient, and judgmental, aggressive. And this impatience really gets me when it comes to listening. What is listening? Listening is the information that we're taking from the speaker, other people, or ourselves while remaining non-judgmental and empathetic. Acknowledging the talker in a way that invites the communication to continue. Providing limited but encouraging input to the talker's response, carrying the person's ideal one step. Potential barriers. For me, I have several of these barriers, but I've also provided solutions for you as listed. One of my barriers is I tend to start with the least important information, and the solution that is start with the most important information. And I tend to say more than is necessary. Say more. I need to say less and stay more on topic. Potential barriers continued. I do make a story about me, and not so much about what the person is actually saying or the context of the subject. Another problem I have is relying much on subtexting, and I need to avoid relying on that. Instead of communicating indirectly with questions using my body language, I start to say what I'm really thinking and feeling. I need to be direct. I use exaggerated expressions, which is a problem. A solution would be is not to do that, not saying I always this or I never wanted to see you in this way. I need to change my communication style by just being more encouraging to the listener. Avoid using exaggerated expressions that will cause me to misconstrue the actual story instead of inviting new ways for the receiver to behave. Noise pollution. Wow. Noise pollution, also known as noise disturbance, is disturbing or excessive noise that may harm the activity or balance of human life. Now that you have that definition, it also can be any distraction to a person can be struggling with internal and prohibits him or her from being an effective listener. Internal noise. Biased listening, physical barriers such as headaches. I'm always saying, oh, I have a headache. And if I have a headache, I'm not going to listen to anything the person's saying. And also personal issues. I'm trying to rush to do something, and that's where the impatience come in. Solution to that is listen to what is being communicated. Be patient and being open-minded. External noise pollutions are time pressures, deadlines, interruptions with phone calls, view of outside activity or scenery. Solutions are focusing on the talker's message, look directly at the talker without looking elsewhere, and learn to train oneself to be an effective listener. Action plan for personal communication improvement. Basic action plan I'm going to take is improve my personal communication skills are 1. Recognize moments when I allow noise pollution to distract me from focusing on the talker. Speak only what is necessary to maximize the conversation without exaggerating or disclosing far too much information that is unnecessary about myself. I do that a lot. I'm always talking about me and just over exaggerating, and the listener can definitely get lost. And lastly is ignore prejudging people or taking my own judgments to decipher what they mean. The summary is I discussed interpersonal communication, discussed overreaching goal, my backgrounds, define listening, identified my personal barriers and provided some possible solutions, identified noise pollution and provided solutions. My action plan to make my personal communication goals a reality. My references are listed Berlin Allen, 1995, Carmenel, 2008, and Stewart, 2012. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.